All right, folks, let's talk about obviously the news regarding the Washington Commanders, which was the 38-31 loss they suffered to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles have swept the Washington Commanders this season. Prior or leading to the game, I predicted that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win. After all, they were like a 6.5 or 7 point favorites to win that game against Washington. Folks, I mean, today's episode is named Make Me Sick. And damn it, I'm just going to tell you what makes me sick about the Commanders. Am I shocked or upset that we lost? No, because I predicted that was going to happen. So when you predict that something was going to happen and it comes into fruition, you're not going to be mad with your prediction. Hey, at least you were right with your prediction. However, I am disappointed, very, very disappointed that one of our arch rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, we lost to them for the second consecutive time this season. I laid down some of the things that Washington needed to do in order to secure a victory. That was to take away the ball from Jalen Hurts. Now, we definitely did that in the second half with the touch push rule, a touch push attempt, which is very often that the Philadelphia Eagles use. But and yes, we did get a turnover. We collected a turnover, a fumble near the red zone, but still, we couldn't do anything. And then on top of that, we could not stop A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, for the sixth consecutive game this season, he has 125 yards receiving or more. And in that game against the Commanders, 8 catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. He once again torched our Commanders. But look, I understand it was against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I understand it's against that great wide receiver duo. Nevertheless, yet again, our DBs, as I previously stated, they are trash. Trash. Sorry, but that is just the pure truth. What else do you want me to say about this secondary? They're just that trash. They're not that good. I mean, Benjamin St-Juste, Emmanuel Forbes, Kendall Fuller, those guys going up against that wide receiver duo, they don't have a chance in hell. Now, Washington, we did have a 17-10 lead. We did have a 17-10 lead. We only held the Philadelphia Eagles to 10 points. Jalen Hurts connected with A.J. Brown on that touchdown pass, the second to last drive at the end of the first half to put it 14-10. Washington was able to capitalize by by hitting a 61-yard field goal by Joey Slye. So at least we came in with some momentum. But in the second half, our defense just gave up 28 points. Philadelphia outscored us 28-14 in the second half. And that was because, in large part, of how Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown was just flat out torching our secondary. Our secondary was just flat out trash. I knew this was going to happen. I knew that our DBs were going to get yet again embarrassed by the Eagles wide receivers. We did not have much of a chance. And just when I actually thought, you know what, I would feel confident enough in our defense, I would feel confident enough in our team because we were actually playing very well in the first half. And Sam Howell, by the way, folks, Sam Howell, and I'll get into him in just a second, had by far the best game of his season. He was not excellent. He was not good. He was magnificent. until the sack and then the interception. But our defense is just flat out trash. Our secondary is just flat out trash. And outside of our offensive line, that is an issue we must address heading into the offseason, because nobody on earth can convince me with that secondary we're going to go places. We're not. We're not going places with that secondary. So we went up against the Eagles wide receivers. We got to go up against the Cowboys wide receivers later in the year. We got to deal with them on Thanksgiving. We got to deal with CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. We got to deal with the Dolphins with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Then we got to deal with the Rams later in the season with a healthy Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, one of the top candidates for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Then later on, we got to deal with the 49ers with, of course, Brandon Ayuk and hopefully, when healthy, a Deebo Samuel. How much worse could it possibly get for the Commanders secondary? Because if you think going up against the Eagles wide receivers was bad, wait until you face these teams. The Cowboys twice a year, the Dolphins, the 49ers, and the Rams with those wide receivers. Good luck, Washington's the secondary. You're going to need it, because there is no chance, mind you, no chance in hell you're going to actually shut down those wide receivers. Good luck with it. I hope you prove me wrong, but the likelihood of that is not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm sorry.